He's won the Regional Driving Championships, the O'Brien Awards, the National Driving Championship, countless titles around the Maritimes. Gilles Barrieau is my special guest tonight on the Inside Track. Gilles, nice to have you.
Nice to have me.
Gilles, we want to start with many interviews over the years with you, but this is an opportunity to go all the way back. Can you share with us a little bit your memories of harness racing as a young person?
Well, as a young person, I grew up around horses. My father always had a barn full of horses, and I was 5 or 6 years old. I still remember going to the barn and helping jog and put them away, and it just carried on.
Now, who were some of the people that encouraged you to get involved in the sport?
Actually, it was myself, actually. It's just I fell in love with the sport, and I was going to school, and I just hated school, and I said to my mother and father after grade 9, I said, I'm all done.
Yeah.
I'm going to work. I'm going to St. John, work for my uncle Marcel.
Yeah, Marcel Barrieau was really, I remember Marcel was quite a giant in the harness racing side as well. What kind of influence did he have on you?
He was my mentor. He was just a top-notch horseman. Did everything, shot them, and did it all. He was the best.
Are you still in touch with Marcel?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I know he'd probably be home, hopefully be home this year for the 60th. I mean, won the Gold Cup as many times as you have as well. We'll get to that. Talk a little bit about your first parimutuel drive. Do you remember it, and what was it like?
I certainly do remember it. It was one of Marcel's horses, Al Petit, his name was. I just got nosed out in the photo. And after that, it took me about 30 to win my first one, so it took a long time to get my first win.
Well, fast forward to now, Gilles, for today with over 4,400 career wins and counting. Can you share a few special ones that stand out for you, and why do they stand out?
Well, of course, the 4 Gold Cups were very special. First one indeed, and the last one was probably my better one. But, I enjoyed every win. I enjoy winning, and stake races are a bonus too, and, you work hard to get to where you're at, and like I said, I just like winning races.
Yeah, you have, I believe, some of the great connections in harness racing. You have great owners. You work for some great people, and they, of course, sought you out for your talent and what you do on and off the racetrack, those relationships there. Toughest drivers to compete with back in the day, who do you remember most?
Well, I raced with the best when I was starting off, and that did help me a lot. Like I raced with Wally Hennessy back in St. John, Steve Mahar, when all the better guys were there back then. And to race against them, it just, I learned a lot from that. And, we all got along, really. I mean, it was good. When you race with good drivers, it makes it good.
What about the change of drivers from today, from then to today? How much has it changed?
Oh, it has changed a lot. I had to change with the times. It's more aggressive now, and you just gotta gun ho all the time. You gotta be on your toes, because if you don't perform, you'll be replaced.
Well, performing, speaking of that, just recently, it was announced that you're being inducted in the St. John Sports Hall of Fame. How special is that?
That was a feather in my hat. That was a real shocker to me, and I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have your speech ready yet?
Oh, no.
It only takes you a few minutes to put that together.
Yeah, right.
Actually, quite a history when we were doing back over that. This interview is going to prior to the Guardian and Gold Cup and Saucer, and we talked about the Sports Hall of Fame, but really when it comes to the Gold Cup and Saucer, as you mentioned, Mike McDonald has 5 Gold Cup and Saucer wins, and you're closing in on that now. You're 4. How special is that for you to get that close and probably catch it?
Well, winning the Gold Cup is it's not easy. Everything has to fall in place, and I would certainly love to win 1 or 2 more before the end of my career. But it's like I say, everything has to fall into place, and it's a special race to win.
And you competed against Mike many times.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, one of the highlights that we chose tonight from our 2017 victory was a long shot, Shadow Place. Tell us about that. It's a special win, not only because of the connection you had with Shane Bagwell, the groom, but also Kyle Fellows had his 100th training victory, and you got cup number 4. Tell us about that race.
Well, going into the race, there was a heavy favorite. Mark's horse was a heavy favorite, and you know, I'm thinking if I get a trip, I might be, you know, hit the board or what have you. But the fractions were toward, and you know, I just kept picking up the pieces, and down the stretch, I knew I was getting it. So you know, it's just the circumstances of picking up the pieces, really.
Would you say one of your favorites?
Probably, because I wasn't supposed to win it, probably. So yeah, it was one of my favorites.
Yeah, you're on the favorites a lot, and like I
Yeah.
say, when you have one that comes in like that, I know Shane and the entire family. You've got a great history with, you know, with Blaine and Renata as well,
Yeah.
and that was a very special moment.
it was.
Listen, Gilles, I know you got a busy night tonight. I know you're going to be with Roll With It Harry a little later on tonight, which is all part of this Harness the Hope. But we wish you best of luck and continued success, and congratulations on the Sports Hall of Fame in St. John.
Thanks.
All right, Gilles Barrieau, our special guest tonight on Inside Track, and let's take you back to 2017 for that race with Shadow Place in Gold Cup and Saucer.
Starter has called them in for the Gold Cup and Saucer. Time to get it on at Charlottetown. Cup and Saucer 58 lining up. Crombier and Louis-Philippe Waugh, Sapphire City and Anthony McDonald. Ark Hanover with Marcus Miller, Shadow Place and Gilles Barrieau. Always at my place, Mark Campbell. Do-over Hanover has Jason Hughes from the outside, Sports Lightning and Brett McDonald. They're at the top of the stretch. Here they come. Gold Cup and Saucer 58 underway. There they go. Sapphire City leaving out. Always at my place on the outside second. On the rail and racing for third. As they go round the turn. That's Crombier up into fourth. On the inside is Ark Hanover. Racing fifth is Shadow Place. Now racing sixth. From the outside. Sports Lightning along the rail leaves the trailer. They're over to the quarter. Always at my place. And Mark Campbell, they're on the choo-choo here in the Cup and Saucer. Stablemate, Sapphire City, set up for a two-hole ride. Here's the opening quarter on a miserable night. Boom! Just like that, 27 and 1 opened it up. Down the stretch they come. They're in front of us. First time around, that'll bring them halfway home. Always at my place. Clear by 3. Sapphire City is second, Crombier third, Ark Hanover fourth, then in fifth, Shadow Place, Do-over Hanover, he's sixth, trailing on the outside, Sports Lightning, the opening half mile is incredible, 54 and 3, 27 and 2 in the second quarter, and it's always at my place, going to 3 quarters, clear by 5. Sapphire City is second. Third on the outside. Ark Hanover is there. Up in the fourth, Shadow Place. The 3 quarters in 1. 24 and a 1/5. An eighth of a mile left to go. And the Gold Cup and Saucer is homeward bound. Always at my place. They're coming now from the outside. Sapphire City coming. Shadow Place. Shadow Place. And the Maritime Magic Man has got the Gold Cup and Saucer. Shadow Place for Barrieau. Second is always at my place. Look like Ark Hanover rallies up to be third. Time for the mile. 1:53 and 2. Wow.
This has been a special presentation. The Inside Track was presented by Red Shores,